Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the Human Training Your Dog is Begging You For podcast. And if you are needing help understanding your dog's behaviors and what to do about them, then you've come to the right place. I'm Charles Countryman, co-founder of K-9 Culture Dog Training in Carrollton, Texas. And as always, my wife, Laura,
good morning,
is here.
I am.
And our lead trainer, Julie, is here. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning.
And then Wyatt, head of evaluations and senior trainer. Good morning.
Good morning.
And for those of you that have been listening to us or maybe new to us, we're not just the senior trainers or co-founders. We're also the ownership team here at K-9 Culture. And today we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be transitioning our podcast guys over to YouTube. We've been for the last year, we've been doing, this podcast, as we all know, every Wednesday it rolls out. And I guess it's been since summer, we finally got serious about building our YouTube following.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So part of that strategy just makes sense to move our podcast over to virtual or visual podcast.
So you'll be able to see what we look like.
So then you will be able to see how goofy Wyatt looks with his little goatee thingy.
Yeah. That's all it does.
Yeah. So we're going to be moving our podcast over to YouTube. And if you have not subscribed to our channel on YouTube, it's K9 Culture DFW on YouTube. And then besides the podcast, of course, we post, virtually every day, some kind of content. Some of it's funny, some of it's educational. The crazy thing is the educational stuff is why people want to talk to dog trainers, why they want to take their dog to dog training, why they want to, they need help with, right? It's all the funny crap that gets all the views. And the educational stuff barely gets any views. And it makes me scratch my head. I'm like, man, why do we make the educational stuff? Nobody's going to watch it. So if you follow us and subscribe to us on YouTube, do watch the educational, because we are trying to put good information so you to alleviate some stress or communication issues that people have with their dogs, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we are putting a big emphasis on YouTube. We've been open. We opened August 1st, 2020. So right in the middle of the pandemic. And that was the good old days of not the good old days.
No.
The days of, quarantine in a lot of places. Everyone's wearing masks. Should you wear a mask? Should you wear 3 masks? Should you wear 72 masks?
Oh, my God.
6
how many
feet away
boosters
from
should
people.
you have? I mean, it was just chaotic. Nobody knew. Really.
No, we didn't have shots then.
No, there was no shots.
Millions.
You're right.
We're not going to talk about that. But you had to be 6 feet away from everyone, which is really nice because the leash is 6 feet long. So that was awesome.
Right. So yeah, we opened up. It was just Laura and I for that first month in our facility here. We did not. God, you remember we didn't even turn the lights on
in the back half.
In the back 3/4 of the building because why? Why do we even need to go back there? It's just the two of us.
Yeah.
And so that was the first year. It was August 1st. We didn't really do boarding trains for a while. We tried to discourage them because we didn't have kennels at the point.
We didn't have any. We just had crates.
When you order kennels, they're usually a 6-week lead time, but because of COVID, it was a 4 to 6 month lead time.
Yep.
Everything's lead time was just ridiculous because everyone nationwide, worldwide was not working from home, whatever.
And just general trial and error, like we tried cinder block kennels first.
Yeah, so we had to build some cinder block kennels. So we had some, and then once we did have a couple boarding dogs, once those first initial dozen kennels were built, then we had the ability to board. I guess we always do. So someone's probably listening. Well, why didn't you just put the dogs in the crates?
We did.
We did, but it's not what we like to do. I don't like dogs sleeping in crates. I don't know. Because if they're not training, they're in a crate. And then if they're sleeping in a crate, I don't know.
But we did have crates.
Yeah.
Julie's office was the first.
Yeah, your office was the kennel room, air quote.
Yes.
God.
I don't even think we had a break room.
The first couple months. And then the break room we slept in.
Yeah.
Well, first we slept in Wyatt's office. That room was what was wrong? Too dark?
No, we did. No, we slept the first time. We slept in the grooming room, but there's ticking because right by the grooming room is
the fire suppression, fire alarm system, and it constantly beeps.
Oh yeah.
During the day, you don't notice it that much.
But when it's
at 2:00 in the morning, when there's not a sound anywhere, you're like, what the F is that noise? So yeah, we made it one night in the kennel room, which is, or excuse me, the grooming room. It wasn't the grooming room at that time; it was just a room.
Then we went over to Wyatt's room.
And then we moved to Wyatt's. Oh, I remember why we only made it one night in Wyatt's office. The way it's laid out, it was too small.
Yeah.
You know, you try to get out of the air mattress to the left or to the right, and you're up against a desk or a wall. And I thought, no, this is crazy. So then we moved to the break room.
But it wasn't the break room.
It wasn't the break room.
And Wyatt's office wasn't Wyatt's office either.
Nope.
It was just a room.
When the people left this building, they left all the furniture. It was full of crap.
Yeah, because they went out of business and
refrigerators, and
they went out of business before COVID. They haven't paid their rent in like a year.
So
so there was like a whole bunch of crap here. It was an indoor soccer center.
It took us like 6 months to finally sell all that.
Yeah, we sold all of it.
Yeah,
Facebook. That was one of my jobs. Facebook Marketplace.
Just getting rid of all the soccer stuff that was left.
We had couches here. We had chairs,
scoreboards, goals,
cooking,
soccer balls,
cooking because they had a little
pizza.
Bar.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they had
freezers.
It was interesting. Who was our third person we hired?
So the next one that came on was Wyatt. Wyatt came on at the end of March or at the end of August.
Yeah.
Still painting walls.
And then a week later.
I forgot about that.
We were still painting walls.
Wyatt's little baby wasn't babies too.
Make it look like a dog.
Alex like 2. Maybe 1. He was here riding around doing stuff while we were painting everything. My mom even came and helped paint it. She was 70 years old. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I felt bad. We worked her to death.
Yeah, we took netting down.
It was
a lot of work. Because the building's 47,000 square feet. So there's a lot of netting that has to come down, scoreboards, goalies,
windows to clean because every
my god! So all of our training fields
have glass.
They're surrounded by 8 feet tall, human shatterproof glass. Well, there's soccer prints, hand prints, human prints,
head footprints,
hand print. I mean, any print you can think of on both sides of those windows.
I know for a fact I spent a whole entire 8-hour day cleaning windows, and it wasn't even half that.
No.
Not even,
And then when we got done with one side, we went, oh shit. Now we got to go on the inside and do it. We're not done. We're only halfway done.
And you can't see the smudges unless you're on the other side of the glass. So you could clean it, but miss parts of it.
It took a long time. And then light bulbs, we replaced over... I can't even count.
It's a lot.
I know it was over $5,000 in the first 2 months of light bulbs. That's how many light bulbs.
And in the middle of doing this, we're training dogs because Charles sold a few dogs the first week we opened.
Right. The first week we were open, and they knew, they were our first. In fact, those first 2 dogs, Lainey, she was just here boarding last week, and that was 3 years ago. And we were just all joking with the owner. Wow. Remember when you came in, it was just 2 of you.
And then Hank.
And then Hank after her. They're both 2 of the most dog aggressive dogs we've trained.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, to this day, they're still 2 of the most dog aggressive dogs we've
And they both ended up
the best
liking dogs.
Yeah.
Well, Hank doesn't like
Hank
dogs.
doesn't like dogs.
Hank very well tolerates any dog.
No, Hank liked Daisy.
Oh,
you're right. So there is some selective dogs
I never thought
does like.
It took him like 2 years, but he finally warmed up to a couple dogs.
So Hank went to group class at least 2 years until the owners moved out of the state.
Yeah. So now, he didn't need it for obedience.
No, he just
in fact, he really didn't need it for reactivity.
They just liked it.
It was their hobby.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
But yeah, he could be off leash in advanced group class.
Oh yeah.
Surrounded by dogs. Look at him. He didn't care.
Go hiking.
Lainey
just didn't want to play with them.
No.
But you're right. He did. Yeah. He did form a bond or 2 with a couple dogs.
And then Lainey will lay on her back right now in the middle of anything for us to pet her, and she wanted to kill dogs. She was
like 100%.
She was an intense
so
girl.
intense.
Yeah. And it was psychotic.
She would about snap her neck to hurl herself at the end of the leash to get to a dog. I'm like, you're going to kill yourself. What are you doing? You got to quit that.
Crazy lady.
Yeah, so we slept here a couple nights a week because we were the kennel techs.
You guys were doing like what, a 3-hour commute one way?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
where we
we
live
lived in
at that time.
Mm.
That's one of the other reasons why
Why
we
we
would
stayed.
sleep here a couple nights a week is
We live
God,
very
we'd
far
get
away.
done at 7, 8 at night, and then get home at 10, and then we have to be here first thing in the morning to walk the dogs
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
that we're
We
staying.
were kennel staff
So
at the time.
it's
Yeah.
like, do I really want to leave at 3:30 in the morning to get back here? Because we were so far, where we lived was so far away.
Oh, I
yeah,
can't
that was
even.
brutal.
I don't even know why my wife put up with 6-day work weeks
Yeah, that's what
for
we were
like
doing.
a year.
Yeah.
We took 3 days off in the first 93 days.
Yeah.
That was a gruel. But any new businesses,
Yep, it's a
you
normal
put
thing.
a lot of freaking effort in.
Well, in doing day and trains, when you go home, changes every single day.
Yeah.
You never. It's not 9 to 5 at all.
Yeah.
And we were doing lessons every single day with every single
We had
dog.
group class.
And we did group classes at 6:30 on Wednesdays. Oh man, yeah.
It was a lot.
So this room here, your office, is probably the only office we never slept in.
No.
You wouldn't have either because this thing was ticking.
Oh yeah,
No, I turned it off.
Well,
There's
you
some
didn't know
things
at the
in
time.
Yeah, I
here
didn't know how to
that
turn
are
it off, yeah.
electrical, and we didn't know how to turn off. Yeah. Plus, there was a lot of big, bulky furniture in here. There
Yeah.
was really no room.
Yeah, this was the storage for
air
a
It
while.
was storage for a long time. Then Wyatt kind of sort of had this room for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now. it's
Then I
mine,
went to
remember?
Julie's office, and then I
Yeah.
went to the one I'm in now.
Yeah. Charles stayed in the same office, same crappy desk that was
Yep.
there when we moved
There was
in.
a desk that was left here. That's it.
Everything.
It works.
Charles has
I don't
never
care.
changed anything in his
Nope,
office.
I don't care. It works.
I took the office next to him. I rearranged that whole thing. Came one weekend and like this.
I didn't even move the desk.
Remember
in
at one point, me and Fabian were there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was everywhere.
So where?
In my old.
Oh
Wyatt's
yeah,
office.
Wyatt's office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before
So
Wyatt was a
after
salesperson.
you, Wyatt, then Kim came on a week or two later.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then she came on as a trainer. We'd worked with her before in a training capacity. She's now our head groomer. She's
She
still
was a
with
groomer.
us.
She was a groomer before.
Yeah,
she
she was
a trainer.
certified
For a
groomer
long time.
before.
Very
That
good
was
Yeah.
really her background, right?
And then Fabiano.
Then Fabian, he
Fabiano.
used to be a kennel tech for us at a previous company, and then he came over to learn how to be a dog trainer, and he's still with us, one of our senior human aggressive dog trainers now.
Yay.
I hope I still have the text messages bullying him to come in here to come work for us.
Yeah, he was
Oh, did
scared
you?
to come
Oh,
talk to us.
100%.
Oh, I never
He
reached out
called
to him
me
at all.
first,
Oh, okay.
seen if it was okay, and I told him he was stupid and needs to get over here right now.
Yeah.
He kept putting it off,
Yeah.
the interview or whatever. I'm like, get your butt over here, Fabian.
Yeah. He was a young guy, though. He was
He
18,
was.
19
Yeah,
years
he
old.
just graduated school,
Yeah.
high school. I think 6 months before he came on.
Yeah.
Maybe a year.
Something like that.
One or the other.
He was a young guy.
Um,
He's still young.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just turned 21, right?
He was in October, so we'd been open about 3 months
Mm-hmm.
ish by the time he came on. He's still here.
Michelle, next.
So then, Julie, you came on in
February.
February. So what, about 6, 7 months after we were open, I guess. So Maisie came on around the same time you did. She's
Still
our
here.
senior human aggressive dog trainer
Yeah.
now. Yeah, busy. So then Julie comes on.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that don't know, Julie and I, behind the scenes, we butt heads sometimes. We're too much alike. But so it's taken us about a year and a half to figure out how to work together.
At least we're here.
Yeah. Neither of us have chopped each other's arms off.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's funny, ha ha ha. I think Charles, you butt head with lots.
Huh?
You butt heads with Wyatt because he's your kid.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not familiar with us, Wyatt's our youngest son.
Yeah.
Head with me. I don't care.
Only.
Yeah, okay.
I just hit you with the
Keep
bat.
telling
at home.
yourself that.
I just hit him with the bat at home. No one sees the marks.
I don't butt heads with anyone. I'm very easy
You're an
to work
angel.
with.
I'm very easy to work with. It's called I'm right and you're freaking wrong.
So just
Get with
go
the
do it.
program.
Yeah. Where are we having a breakdown here?
But Wyatt was a trainer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he was trainer / sales.
Did that for several months.
Oh, yeah, that was a learning curve.
Yeah,
Don't do that. You need to have one job.
Yes.
it is hard.
It is
to be
very
Very
hard.
hard.
50-50. That's the hardest thing for me when we first opened was that first year of doing that because I was training and selling.
Yes.
And we had to because it was just
Yes.
us. But you don't feel like you're really focused on either.
Yeah. It's hard.
So when you're meeting someone to explain dog training and enroll their dog, it is sales, right? Of course. Hopefully we don't make it feel like a sale, but at the end of the day, it is. If there's not a transaction, you can't train their dog.
Yeah.
But the whole time, this way, the whole time when you're training dogs still, the whole time you're with somebody, you're thinking about, oh man, I need to get that dog out and work on X, Y, or Z. So you're kind of in the back of your mind, half your focus is still on the dog that you need to get back out and train and work with and what you need to work on.
I thought the hardest part was, say you're scheduled for 5 evals that day. That's 5 hours out of your 8-hour day.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what sucks is you put your dog away for a training session to go meet the person coming in, and then they no-show. You're like, damn it, man, you screwed up my flow with how I was working with dogs.
And you got to sit around for like 15 minutes.
I think that's what most people don't realize is when they schedule an evaluation with a dog trainer, whether it's us or anybody, that person is literally coordinating their working sessions with their dogs around that person's evaluation that said they want to talk about dog training. And when they just no-show you, well, one, it's freaking rude, inconsiderate as hell. I just think it's slimy. I mean, really, it is. Just call and say I can't make it,
or even a text message. I'm
or
happy with a text message.
Take the chicken way out and just because you're literally stopping what you're doing, putting the dog away, and you might have been in a spot, because we've all been in it, where you're having a breakthrough moment with the dog, and you don't want to stop.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I wish I could continue for 15 minutes because, man, we're almost there. But here's somebody coming in. Okay, I have to go do that. Or there's supposed to be someone coming in. It really, oh, God, it just irritates the heck out of you, right?
Or they come in 30 minutes late or 30 minutes early.
So you just got the dog out. You're getting ready to work. And now they, here I am. Yeah. So,
or
FYI to anybody that makes appointments with people, whether it's a roofer, a contractor, a dog trainer, don't matter. Respect the appointment that you made. It's an obligation that you made as a human, or text them and let them know you can't do it.
Or you're going to be early or late. Or whatever's going on in your life, just let us know.
Just be polite.
God.
Just be a polite human being. That one is, that's tough. We still struggle with it, but the good news is now you are full-time, doing dog evaluations. So you're a little more flexible, but at the same point, someone no-shows, it's someone you could have been helping.
Yep.
Instead of the person that just is a flake.
Yeah.
But I think that transfers over to me and Julie too, because now Julie does most of the training of the trainers. Right. And if sometimes she has dogs and it's hard. Yeah. And I used to do that too, and it's hard. I have a dog now I'm training, a day train. It's really cool. But I still have so now I'm ahead of all the stuff too. So it's hard to do two things at once.
Yeah. And that's why if you guys have dogs, you typically only have one dog because you still have duties that have to be done.
Yeah.
So
we do. That is the weirdest thing about getting into be a dog trainer like we are in making a company. I think it's going to be so cool. We could train dogs all the time. It's not. I don't know how many employees we have right now. A lot. So basically, I'm at a dog training. Julie pretty much is at a dog training. And it's like that kind of sad. Yeah. It is very sad.
We have a dog training business, but we're not. We don't have the ability to actually work hand on hand with the dogs as much.
Well, it's really hard because most dog trainers have ADD and they're perfectionists. Yeah. Especially if you want to start a company. Yeah. You got a little OCD and you've got to let people. You built all this, this like reputation up, all these cool dogs, all this standard, and then you just gotta let other people do it.
No, but you don't because that's where Julie comes in.
No, I know, but I'm still saying you can't.
Yeah, you do.
Every dog, if something's wrong, you have to let them do it.
And that's what I had to learn.
But I mean, I was gonna say, I think for me, at least now, more so than when I first started to transition as a lead trainer and things, I'm now understanding that I'm a part, of everybody's little training journey. Right. Yeah. And so I feel I definitely very much miss training dogs and having 3 to 4 dogs and being able to do all of that. But it's just as cool to be able to help the trainers when they have cases that are complicated or cases that are just weird or quirky or whatever. and to be able to put in my opinion or my knowledge and help them get through to the other side and like understanding what to do.
Right.
So I miss it, but at the same time, I don't feel like I'm missing out all that much because we have so many dogs, you know, in training.
Yeah. There's always something that a trainer would go, I'm stumbling here.
Right.
And it could be something simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Redford that we just trained a while ago. It was no behavioral issue.
Right.
That dog had no behavior. He just didn't know how to be a dog.
He had no motivation. Period.
Yeah. So sometimes it's not. It has nothing to do with behavior problems. Yeah. Where I think most people probably assume every issue a dog has is behavioral. No, sometimes it's stubbornness.
Super simple.
It's
emotional.
Emotionally based. They didn't get socialized at a key moment in their life, so they're missing that loop. They were taken away from their mom too early.
Oh, yeah.
Someone brought in their dog this week, Saturday. He got his dog at 3 weeks old.
Whoa.
I was like, what the hell? I mean, were you bottle feeding him?
Yeah.
And he said he was told it was 5, but when he took it to the vet said, this is about a 3-week-old puppy. You need to still bottle feed this puppy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's like, what the hell?
Get at least one of those a month.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
And I'm just like, the problem is with a puppy, you don't know.
Yeah.
Just from looking at it, from someone walking up to a dog, you know.
Yeah.
Well, he knew it was young, but he didn't realize it was that young.
Maybe 7 weeks old, not 8 weeks old, not 3. That's insane.
That's little.
So now, one of the things that we do that you're a huge part of, Julie, is kind of what you mentioned, Wyatt. Now we have trainers that are working with the dogs. So how do we make sure that the trainers are training? How do we make sure quality control standards, right?
Yeah.
So what do we do there? What do you?
Well, I mean, there's to some degree, there's some micromanaging going on.
It has to be.
Yeah. Just to make sure that everybody stays in line. I mean, I guess that's always going to be the problem when you start to grow as a company and you have more people. You want to make sure everybody is staying to the standard that you're wanting to provide for clients, for people. For me, at least as a lead trainer, my main job is to make sure that they are keeping up to the standards of certain obedience, right, every week and things like that. And so I make sure that because
we know average dog, by Tuesday, they start on Monday. By Tuesday, they should know how to do X. By Thursday, they should be able to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Have they mastered it? No, but we know about where the average dog should be.
Yes.
Right.
And so we're doing trainer evals. That's really what it's called. We're just evaluating the trainers every week to make sure that they are where they should be, where they're dogs. And then we acknowledge that sometimes we're going to get a dog that's extremely anxious or extremely aggressive or, whatever the case is. So we kind of change the expectations for that dog, but we still want to see progress. And so it's all about making sure that, they're getting where they should by in a week's time frame. Since we do board and trains and the dogs go home on Friday, we got to make sure that in those 5 days they're making enough progress that they're going to be able to work on some things over the weekend with owners and then move on to something else the next week.
Right.
Yeah.
And stay on pace to at the end of 2, 3, or 4 weeks, whatever the training program is that dog's in. We've achieved the goals that the owner has.
When people just naturally drift. Pick up bad habits.
They do. Humans. We humans are so good about that.
They're saying, screw this training. I'm going to do it my way. They will subconsciously shift their training style out of line with what you want them to do.
So our evaluations kind of are also geared to keep that from happening.
Yeah.
So that way we're being consistent in how we're.
I do love the evals though, because I feel like it makes the trainers want to do better. Yeah. Like it makes them want to do better with their dogs and
kind of in a group format.
A lot. The 3rd weeks and the 2 weeks evals, they're always in a group setting. Whereas the 1st week evals, I do those one-on-one to see how the dog's doing and things. But yeah, definitely. I feel like it helps them want to do better and do cool things. And then in turn, they end up wanting to show those cool things, to the owner. So it's not just about doing obedience and being monotonous. It's also about showing the cool things that their dog can do. And I think that that's a really cool thing.
And it keeps you from falling into the trap of, we'll just fix it next week.
Oh God, yes.
Because that's a trap. Because once you fall into it, and then you're putting off another dog to work this dog double that week.
A lot of trainers say that, and I can think of 3 trainers off the top of my head, not here, but
companies.
from a previous company that I used to work with and for. And with a 3-week board and train, I found they did it all the time.
Yep.
Well, we'll worry about that next week. Today's Wednesday, for example. Well, why don't we worry about today, tomorrow, and Friday, and then next week we won't have to address it. So they would kick a command or something out till next week. That's not fair to the dog. If the dog could learn it in 2 weeks instead of 3 weeks, then why didn't the owner just do a 2-week board and train?
Yeah.
And then you see it the second week. Well, we still have next week. You just sacrificed 2 weeks of board and train. Now you're stealing from the person because you're. Oh God, it makes it.
Well, the
that's
absolute
why I left
worst
that company.
Is they'll do that and then they give the dog to another trainer.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll do it the next week. Oh, here you go. Here's a dog you don't know anything about.
And that I haven't trained.
Yeah.
And I kept kicking everything off. So now I'm kicking it off to you. Good luck to get a 3-week standard with a 1 week of training.
What's scary with things like that is then they can, when an owner comes in and says, has my dog made progress? They can lie and say, no, they haven't made progress on whatever it is they were supposed to work on 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, that's not good.
And we train dogs from other companies
that have gone
through other 3-week, 2-week programs.
6, 8-week programs. Insane.
And it's amazing.
Literally about a month and a half ago, one did a 3-week board and train with somebody. The dog did not literally even understand what leash pressure was. Mm-hmm. You can't even walk a dog if they don't understand leash pressure, right? So that means they weren't walking the dog. Mm-hmm. I mean, the dog would have at least grasped leash pressure in 3 weeks. Yeah, maybe he wouldn't have a heel if you're not a good trainer. But he would have understood leash pressure.
They should know that in like 2 days.
And that's exactly what I mean. That's what I mean. That's why I could tell that the dog literally had not been worked in 3 weeks. He just probably sat in a kennel or a crate or whatever for 3 weeks. Or was in someone's home because it was obviously an in-home trainer. Not obviously, but it was an in-home trainer. So that means the person never took them outside their home. So they were working some obedience just in their living room.
Yeah.
Because they never did put a leash on the dog. Because the dog, you put the leash on, he's like, what the hell is this? And what are you doing? He literally had no grasp of a leash. That's another reason why we do, the evaluations is to make sure nothing like that happens.
We do not like.
It's also a big reason why we have this giant facility. All the people, all the. We always make jokes. We could just do that side of our house. You're like, but you want to get the full package. You want to get, 40, 50 other dogs you can train around every day.
Get this dog socialized with fat dogs, skinny dogs, excitable dogs, lazy dogs, anxious dogs, angry dogs.
All the dogs.
All the dogs in different breeds. I mean, there is a lot of value into that because you can take, we see it all the time. Our area for aggressive dogs, that's where the aggressive dogs sleep at night. Rather quickly, they get used to being in each other's presence. Yep. So they don't, try to, bark through the fences to each other.
Wow. You put them in the kennel room, they will bark for 10 hours. Exactly. You put them in 10 by 10s, three of them all by
what happens is they just become socialized to a certain degree to a couple dogs.
Yeah.
So if a trainer's training from their home and they're working with 3 dogs, it'll look like that dog's been fixed. Well, that's because he's not aggressing to those 2 dogs because he's
used to them.
He's used to them.
Yeah. It's a problem with dog training. It's very easy to make dogs look good.
Right.
Yep.
For your little 2-hour or hour lesson when they take the dogs home and you didn't fix anything. It just window dressing. It'll look good in your house. Dog did everything. The routine you trained it to do, basically trick training.
Right.
But as soon as they go home or you take them somewhere, they're going to act out.
And that's why I like the way we have structured our board and trains. We send the dogs home on the weekend to work on some homework and tasks and skills that we've taught the dog because we want that feedback. Hey, how'd it go? If it didn't go great, let us know so we can dial that in. If they knocked it out of the park, great. We can check that box and we'll move on to a new skill this week.
And it's easy for owners to give us feedback that way. So we know as a leadership group what trainers need help with what. Because if they're always getting the same feedback, dog came home, can't sit.
Then we know we need to work with that trainer in that skill because we're seeing that, too often. Yeah, absolutely.
It's also good transparency for owners.
Yeah.
The amount of dogs that they're like, oh, the trainer just kept giving me more free weeks. Dog been trained for 8 weeks.
Yeah,
and I was like, because
we just trained a dog or are training a dog.
That's why it's in my brain. Because the dog got in a fight or something happened and it got injured, and he's trying to get the dog to heal.
Right.
Before he gave it back.
Right.
And
sketchy.
It's super sketchy.
Yeah. That's another reason why I like that we are a large facility. I mean, there's lots of reasons I don't, mostly because it's super just a pain in the butt because we have so many people. But that can't happen. Someone would call someone out here. It just wouldn't happen. So there's an accountability when you work with several people that if we had a trainer just
start
dinking around, beating a dog, right? Or didn't feed the dogs, something crazy. They're going to get called out so fast.
Yeah, something as simple as, hey, this silver pit bull had a metal allergy and it got a couple little hot spots.
Right.
Let's call the owner and tell him about it.
Right.
And tell him what plan we're going to do to fix it, not just keep the dog for 4 weeks and hope it
heals. Yeah.
It's insane to me. Get ahead of stuff.
We're very transparent. We call
probably
owners.
Too much.
That's the word.
We probably do call owners too much.
And that's also why we do videos every day. Yeah.
People appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate it.
It's also, when you think about it from our perspective, like if Buddy was somewhere, I would want to know if something happened.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather know than just be blinded when I go and pick him up and he's like missing his leg.
Well, and some things that you call, like the dog does X, Y, and Z, and the owner says, oh, yeah, he does it here too.
It is so.
And it's like, okay. Yeah.
Stressful. Like the dog's limping or it's doing something weird. And you're like, I broke the dog. I don't know what I did.
I don't know what
the dog didn't limp for a week, and now it's limping bad.
And then the owner says,
"Oh, that's normal."
He always says that when he gets rowdy.
Right.
Oh, thank God.
I stressed about this phone call for 10 minutes before I called you, and then there was nothing.
He said, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that."
I think it shows that how much we care, though.
Yeah.
How much we care, how much we're concerned that letting owners know that something's going on with our dog. We understand how it feels. So I think it's pretty. It's a good thing that we're like that.
Yeah.
When people are willing to, if you're going to spend thousands of dollars on training your dog, it's your child or it's a family member. It's not.
It's a family.
Some dog
they just randomly have in your backyard.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Yeah. And I don't know. Me and Charles have had bad experience with boarding dogs way in the past. But that, I think, why we start. We just,
and that was
knows.
That horror story with the
Buddy, not Buddy,
Pansy.
Yeah, it was Pansy. Yeah,
our bulldog.
Yeah, I was thinking about the male, the younger one.
No, we put it was
anyway.
Bad.
That was horrific. So that was really what got us always to think, would it be cool to have a dog training and boarding facility that was fun and you trust that your dog's being taken care of, your dog's having fun while they're there.
Because we sued the company, went to court, the judge felt really bad, but the contract re-signed, they could give us
he literally said, I want to sign with you, but reading the back page of their contract, they could hand your dog back dead.
And you still have to pay.
Jeez.
What?
He said, this is ridiculous, but this is, and it was in fine print. I'm like, holy crap, he's right. They could have literally handled us a corpse and we still had to pay for boarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that is not good.
That's wild. Yeah. They still just jabbed you with the price, even.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah, it was horrific.
So I think that kind of colors how we are approach owners. Yeah. Because me and Charles are the main people.
And we don't have any of that crap in our contract.
Oh, no.
I mean, of course we have a contract because, oh my God.
You have to have a contract.
You're dealing with people, you have to have paperwork. But there's no whereases, thus ases, is ases. None of that legalese. We literally made it non-legal. It's just freaking layman terms.
Yes.
Wow.
What's expected of us and our client.
Yes.
That is it. It's very easy to read and understand, and there's no hidden crap.
Hidden crap.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of lawyers and people that do literally write contracts like that have read it all while we're sitting there like, it's whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's normal.
How many people do we have working here?
We have right at 30 now.
Right at 30.
Yeah. And then this year, I guess February, we finished an expansion. So we added 6,000 square feet. One of our neighbors moved out, and so we We occupied that because it butts up against us, and now that's our luxury and deluxe area.
We almost did a satellite location.
Yeah.
Almost.
We tried real hard, and that did not happen.
But the owner of the building kept
being weird,
moving the goal line, and then
he's running more. He got greedy.
Yeah, he got really greedy. So we said, no, pulling the plug on that.
Yeah,
which is really odd. This is right after the pandemic kind of shut down, stopped.
Yeah, so and that building is still vacant.
Of course.
Oh, you wonder why? Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess no one else fell for his bait and switch either. Yeah.
So I would imagine when we start this on YouTube, we will be showing people our facility. You will see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Yep. And you'll be that's a good idea.
But the most important is you'll get to see Buddy.
Yeah, the most important is see our dog.
No, you can see Dolly.
Oh, there will be a video making fun of your office.
Oh my God,
making fun of it.
Oh,
yeah, we'll have to shoot one in there just so people can appreciate.
More pictures of her dog in her office, and I have my kids.
Stop, there's more coming. There's more coming.
I can get behind the pictures. It's the color palette that she changed.
Oh, come on, Charles, leave me alone.
The custom-made calendar.
Oh yeah,
all the other seasons from a professional.
Look, it kind of makes sense. I have a dark soul with a little bit of color here and there.
Yes, there you go.
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah.
I have never painted my office. Literally in 3 years, I just put my stuff on the desk that was in there, and
you did.
I have not moved anything.
That's so sad.
The chairs,
I know,
everything.
Your office
boom, I'm here.
Stay the same.
I've moved nothing, but you and Michelle make me move my office every once in a while.
Well, me and Sandy did it first. My daughter came and helped do it.
I've never rearranged my office. Other people
I don't like it. So we had when we started where we slept mostly was they used it as a conference room or something. It is now the break room.
Yeah, they use it as a training room.
Yeah, but now it's
our break room.
Big room. We have a very big
where
break
we
room.
slept. And we do have, in case anyone's wondering, well, how do you guys shower? There is a shower here. But it's like a 5-gallon water heater.
Go fast.
So Laura had to go fast, and I was screwed no matter how fast she went because there was no hot water for me.
It's fine.
Yeah. Now we have a real size hot water heater, but
oh yeah, we do.
Back then
because
we did
of grooming.
Yeah, because of grooming. No,
it was only because of grooming. We said screw the humans, just grit your teeth and bear it.
The dogs need warm water.
So we got a real hot water heater just for the dogs, not for the humans.
Thank God though, because that's what saved us through Snowmageddon.
Yeah, because in February's
it snows here for some dang reason.
Every February since we've been open, basically Dallas has shut down the roads because of snow.
Stupid
and
snow.
The problem is we already have dogs here,
I won't have that
so it's not an option to not come to work.
Yeah.
First year I was like, oh crap, what do we do?
Go on your bicycle.
Because a lot of our people, they live days away. They're not used to driving in snow. They don't have snow tires. And so I guess we'll just get everyone a hotel room and be close.
Yeah, we do that.
That's kind of what we do now. That isn't kind of. That is what we do.
And then their water heater broke in the hotel.
Oh, yeah. So we would have been better off if we had all stayed here that first year. Because the water heater broke in the hotel. So it's like, all right, we got a bed, but no hot water.
Well, and we're luckily, I mean, it was like 2/3 of Dallas had no power.
Yeah.
So you really couldn't bitch and moan because it was it wasn't
like 3 degrees out. It was
brutal.
There was people with icicles in their house.
Yes.
Yeah. Now
we're way off topic, but okay.
Yeah,
no, we just.
But we kind of see that coming every February.
Now we're prepared.
Yes,
we just let everyone know, be prepared because you're expected to be at work because the dogs are already here.
Yeah,
and the owners need to know we're here and taking care of them and training them. So,
but we have never lost power here, which is nice.
It's really amazing. Yeah, we have never lost power here.
So George just took his ball. There's 3 dogs in the office. Took his ball and went and hit it on my table.
Mm-hmm.
So when we could see us, we could show you George hiding from all the dogs trying to take his balls.
So hopefully you've enjoyed a little peek behind the scenes of a little bit of what the last 3 years have been like.
It's been a fun journey.
It's been a long journey.
It's been a growing. We've all grown, I think.
I've grown very fast.
Because I've never thought I wanted to be in charge of anybody, let alone 10, 15 trainers. Was never on my plate to do. So hopefully I'm doing better than I started.
Yep, we've all
yes, very much better.
Because like Wyatt says, we're perfectionists. You have to be, and it kind of irritates me when people are not.
You can't take everything personally. Just because that trainer lost a little bit, they're not as good as they were, does not mean they're doing it on purpose.
You just need to dial back in.
They just need some help getting back there.
Don't take it as a personal affront. They're being a normal human.
It's just like clients. You just can't take it. Yeah. It's like them no-showing. You can't take it personally. Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah. And that's what I've learned too, because me and Charles do most of the talking to clients when they're not the happiest. So
luckily, it doesn't happen
very much. And most people just want to be heard. That's what I've learned.
Yeah. And usually it's like literally almost to nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do it. Oh, really? Yeah. We're very reasonable people. Yes. You got a good point.
I know they always seem like shocked.
Yeah. When we're like, that's a good point. And
maybe that is,
all the customer service calls I've ever had to make, which is maybe very few. 6 to 12 in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
the only
real customer service.
Yeah, real. Other than a question or hey, I just wanted to run to see about checking on price. I thought I got a good deal, or I thought I got a discount and I didn't get the discount, so they want to talk to the manager. That's to me not customer service. That's just they want clarity and they want to be. So any real customer service issue, I guess that's a good point, Julie. Is most people are nice.
It's almost like they call expecting.
They were ready for a fight.
Yes.
There's no fight. I mean, if we're wrong, we're wrong. Just let me know what we need to do.
Yeah.
Well, we're also.
But if we weren't wrong, I'm still going to hear you. I'm not going to. Yeah. I tell all of you, do we want to be right or we want to be happy?
Yeah.
So there's some times that we are in the right, but we'll still acquiesce because it makes our life happier if we just, let me make you happy and we'll be happy. I don't need to be right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not going to give someone 3 weeks of free board and trains for that reason. But most people, Julie, you nailed it. Once they realize I'm not coming for an argument, there is no issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's just evaporated.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Well, anyway, hope you enjoyed the weird topic that we had. We just thought it would be, for the last live podcast with us, a little interesting if we talked about little things over the last 3 years, how we got where we are. So now we're 53,000 square feet. We've got 30 employees.
We went from day trains to board trains.
Now we're almost exclusively board and trains. Almost, about 8 to 10% of our training is still day and trains, and then we obviously do group classes after the board and trains and day and trains to reinforce all those skills.
We do have 4 group classes now.
Oh yeah, when we first started, we only had 1 group class. Now we have 4 group classes.
We have puppy classes.
Now we have puppy classes, and
we have grooming.
Regular boarding.
And now we have a retail area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's been
a lot of growth in 3 years.
We've grown.
So be sure to follow us on our platform as we transition over to a video podcast on YouTube. And again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, K-9 Culture DFW. And now you'll be able to see some video of
Georgie.
You'll see all kinds of different stuff. Our dogs, our facility, our ugly mugs, whatever it is that you're wanting to see.
Dolly. Everyone see our puppies.
And also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. K-9 Culture Dog Training DFW is our handle on those 2 platforms. And until next week, go have
fun with your dog.